Hello everyone and welcome back to Tarot and Torch. It's good to be back with all of you. I hope that you have all been staying safe and well. Okay, so today we have an unboxing, which I actually got this on Make Playing Cards when Chanel Days announced that she would be releasing some of her decks again, as I know that there was a time where she had stopped doing that. So this is an exciting unboxing because this is a deck that I had wanted to get before the Moonlight Tarot, but I just got that one first. But this one is the Deathly Flowers Tarot by Chanel Days, and I did get it with the red gilding, so I'm super excited to see how this looks, how this reads. I am going to try to keep the cards in focus. I know that there was some comments on the other video that I did that the cards were not in focus, so I'm not lighting the candle today, as I'm hoping that that was the issue, that the flame was flickering and kind of taking that focus away. So we're going to try that, and hopefully it will be better for all of you to see the cards. So let me know how this video is in terms of the cards being shown. I've been so busy lately with just everything that's been going on in my personal life, just a lot of things happening, and they're all good things. I've just been incredibly busy with life, so I haven't really had much time, but I will be making some other videos soon for the channel, so I'm not going anywhere, don't worry. Actually filming this on the Pisces new moon, so I hope all of you are resting and having a nice new moon. This is always such a hard thing to open without destroying the cards. Once I get it in there, this works pretty well. There's like a little blade. Okay. This is going to be nice for, I feel this is just going to be a good one for Aries season because of all the reds, but I love all of the red. It goes so well with my other favorite decks, like the Tarot of Vampires, the Crow Tarot, the Void Tarot, just all of the other decks that are either black and white or have red edging or red. So it comes in these little, these two little piles here, but I'm just going to merge them into one to make it easier. Okay, so we have this beautiful red gilding, which I love. I really do think that red gilding is my favorite now. You know, back when gilding was first kind of originated, gold was the standard, but now I really like the red. I think that that's probably my favorite color of gilding. Okay, so we have a nice linen. It has a linen feel, but I'm not sure if this is true linen, but it has that texture to it, as you can see on the back of the cards here. this in the center. And hopefully the lighting is good. See if I can zoom it further in. Okay, so this is the first card is just a the Pentacles suit and definitions. And then the swords, which are, oh, okay, so we have Earth is pentacles and pomegranates. Air is swords and butterflies. Water is cups and roses. And fire is wands and candles. Okay. And this is the list of the major arcana. And the backs are really nice. They have this luscious pomegranate seeds and roses. So really beautiful backings. Okay, and we start with the King of Water. Queen of Water. Knight of Water. Page of Water. That's a really lovely image. I really like the background of the, I guess this is the cup suit, with the, it's like it reminds me of mermaid scales, but it's like sequins also, so it has a really interesting design. 10 of Water. Nine of Water. And this really does have that beautiful posture of, you know, that fulfillment that the Nine of Cups has, that satisfaction. So I think that that's a brilliant choice with all the lovely lush roses behind it. The Eight of Water. That's very interesting. And this one does have the, I feel that that is water here that she is in. This figure. It almost reminds me of a bride that maybe was at the altar and, you know, decided not to go through with it, or was left at the altar or something like that because of the veil. So that's an interesting kind of association. Seven of Water. And I think this might be eyes there, or that just could be the middle of the rose, but it does kind of look like that, doesn't it? Oh, this one's beautiful. Six of Water. Oh, this is, I love this one. This is very Alice in Wonderland with the mushrooms and the little cobblestone path with the cottage garden and the deer. That is stunning. I love this. And it really does evoke those, childhood kind of feelings and nostalgia, and also just the sweetness of it, because, there is this little girl here, and, even though the deer is kind of outside of the scope of the card a little bit in terms of, the girl, you almost imagine that she could be like this little fairy interacting with the deer. 5 of water. That's an interesting graphic addition here. I like that. Very deep card with the reds and just that that kind of dark room feeling. I really like how the reds in this are creating that kind of dark room effect. But you also think of, with the deep reds, you can also think of perhaps like nightclubs or, certain films. My mind always goes to horror films because that's just where I am. But like really romantic horror films will have this. This kind of reminds me of Hard Eyes a little bit, with just, that kind of red light feeling. 4 of water. Three of water. And again, let me know if you guys like this this format of keeping the cards on the table and not picking them up. Whatever way you can see better. Okay, 2 of water. And that does have that human connection without having necessarily figures, which is kind of nice actually, because then you're just focusing more on the feeling rather than two people and kind of what the two people are doing. It's more about just that touch and that emotion that's evoked from the touch. Ace of water. That is really nice with that. Let's see, is that a red smoke or paint? See, I can't see this way. I hope you can see this way. It's some kind of like a cloudy redness, it looks like from my angle. Okay, King of Fire. We have this nice candlestick. I like the lighting in this one. It does give you that sense of heat. Even though the candle flame is small here, there is just a sense of heat and warmth radiating from it with the lighting. Queen of Fire. Let's see, is that Angelina Jolie? It certainly looks like her. I'm not sure if it is, but she looks like she's like Cleopatra. If she was in a movie as Cleopatra, I need to see that. Knight of Fire. Again, we have this really nice diffused light, but also a contrast, as the picture is kind of sectioned in half. So we have like a lighter side and a darker side. So that's interesting. Like a good girl, bad girl type thing. Page of Fire. That's really stunning with the because the candle wax is dripping, so it does have this beautiful kind of ritualistic energy to it as well, and also with the fingertips being lit, so that's really lovely. 10 of fire. Seems like there's a lot going on here. So we have the candles, but they're upside down, like coming down from the ceiling. And then there's, let's see, is this a lit? Something's on fire. I can't see very well from this angle. And then there's a moth that looks like it's on fire. That's interesting. I'll have to study that. Ooh, 9 of fire. Look at that. With the candles on her back. Eight of fire. Seven of fire. And that's Cerberus. And let's see. I wonder, I mean, this could be a representation maybe of Hecate, because of Cerberus being Greek, but of course it could be a number of different deities, if a deity at all. It could also, maybe it could be Lilith, actually, because Cerberus being in the underworld, it could also be her. 6 of fire. Five of fire. A lot of feminine rage, love that. 4 of fire. 3 of fire. 2 of fire. I like the feeling that this one creates. That's really interesting. Ace of fire. Yes, I think it's smoke coming out of the goblet. Is that a goblet? I think this is the side of a goblet or some kind of chalice. Let's see, what does it say? Meraki? Greek? I'm sorry guys, I'm gonna have to pick this up because I cannot see it at that angle at all. When you do something with your soul, creativity, or love, pulling a piece of yourself into what you do. King of Earth. Okay, so now we're getting into the lovely pomegranates, which is that Persephone. Oh, that's probably who the figure was Persephone in the other card. That makes sense. Queen of Earth. Wow, she's stunning. I love the that headdress. That is gorgeous. Knight of Earth. Page of Earth. 10 of Earth. It's a very beautiful, sensual card. Love that. 9 of Earth. Love share. 8 of Earth. It seems like a lot of the images are very nostalgic, kind of wartime era photographs, which is really cool. Oh, does this one not have the name on it? Let's see. Oh, it's there. 7 of Earth. Okay, I see it. 6 of earth. I like all the dark space that's kind of creating some movement in the images as well. The way that the kind of shadowy, like, almost like a double exposure type of effect in a way, where it was like a color photo and then perhaps turned into like a negative. At least that's how it seems. It's really, really interesting. 5 of earth. Four of earth. Three of earth. Oh, the fates. The 3 fates. Weaving the thread of life. 2 of earth. Ace of earth. Okay, I'm going to pick this up so I can read it to you. Human flourishing, a contented state of being happy and healthy and prosperous. And the word is eudaimonia. I think that's how you would pronounce it. King of earth. Oh, I'm sorry. King of air. Queen of air. Oh, that's Eva Green. I love Eva Green. She was see, what was that show called? Penny Dreadful. That was an amazing show. I loved that show so much. Very talented actress, for sure. See, Knight of air. This reminds me of Silence of the Lambs, the cover for Silence of the Lambs. King of, or no, I'm sorry, Page of air. That's a really interesting effect with the blackened fingers. It does make you really think of death. I know this is a Persephone deck, or Persephone-inspired deck, so it does make sense as, the 2 worlds that she's in, kind of life and death, and it does make you think of kind of that decay a little bit, and reaching up to touch the, I don't know if that's a moth or a butterfly, but one or the other. And with the wings in the background as well. 10 of air, that's gorgeous, with the gravestone. Nine of air. Eight of air. And it seems as though this is a cage around her head. Which, I know that the butterflies have been throughout the air suit, but with her kind of being in the cage and the butterflies being free, almost like thoughts, it's adds more layer to that card meaning. 7 of air. This looks like Nosferatu. I'm not sure if that's what it is, but I can see fingers around a door frame. I have to look at that one more closely after. 6 of air. And this is interesting too, because the Six of Swords is generally, you know, there's motion. But here, it's like she's stopped and she's touching the grass. So it's adding kind of a different dimension to it, because it's like, are we on the other side, or are we stopping? Have we not left yet? So depending on your reading, you could take it to those kind of different levels of, you know, have we stopped ourselves from going into kind of a new direction? Is there something stopping us? Are we being distracted? You know, that sort of thing. Let's see, 5 of air. Four of air. Let you look at this for a second. It's like her form here is facing very downwards, and either she's emerging from an abyss, or she's getting kind of sucked into it, either way. Three of air. Wow, that's an image for sure. That's interesting. Two of air. I like that the air suit seems to be a bit more gothic. I can definitely get behind that. Ace of air. Okay, and we have another definition. It says eunoia. Let's see. A pure and well-balanced mind, a good spirit, beautiful thinking. The words are very tiny, so I think I got them all right. You can really tell when you need to upgrade your prescription with your glasses. Okay, so yes, it looks like this is an extra card. That's really beautiful. I like this image. No. Maybe. Better. Persephone's path. That is very lovely with the white and red contrast. The world. Judgment. Love a gothic window. The sun. I'm not sure if it is her, but it does remind me a little bit of, no, it's not her because she had light hair, but it reminds me of the Good Witch. It's the sun. And I mean Glenda, the Good Witch. Okay. Moon. The star. The tower. Shadow. Temperance. Death. And it says, "Do not worry about your contradictions. Persephone is both floral maiden and queen of death. You too can be both." I've seen this quote. I've posted it actually on Instagram in a different image completely, but I love this quote. It's really very powerful. There's times when we do feel that we are changing in our identity, or, there's just seasons for things, and you don't have to be kind of pigeonholed into one way of expressing yourself or looking or being. So I really always love that quote for those times when, that feeling comes around. Hanged Woman. Justice. Wheel of Fortune. That's really pretty. The Hermit. Oh, this feels very noir, like film noir. Like you could imagine she's some kind of lady on her way to a detective's office or something like that. Very interesting. Strength. The Chariot. Some of these feel very apocalyptic, which I love. It has that feeling to it, which is perfect, really. The Lovers. I like this. It's very Valentine's Day, but very lush and, passionate. Really pretty collage. The Hierophant. This definitely has more of kind of a seer feeling to it, which is nice, rather than, a strictly kind of religious overtone. So I always prefer that kind of card for myself anyhow. The Emperor. We have hands here with some rings, I think, some big bold rings. The Empress. High Priestess. The Magician. This is interesting for the Magician in the way that she's kind of moving, because there is that power in movement, in will, and focusing your intention, so it does have that kind of magical feeling to me. And the Fool. I'm going to center this a little now. Okay, so the Fool has all this beautiful, like, confetti-like. This reminds me of photos that, there used to be these photos that you could put this effect on, and there probably still is in filters and whatnot, but I don't know, around like the Tumblr time, I think, is when they used to do that, right? But it just reminds me of that era, and I love it. It's so pretty. Okay, so this is a beautiful deck. I was very quiet throughout the process. I hope you could see the cards better that way too. But I was very quiet throughout because I was just looking at the images. And I'm also trying to show you the shuffle here. Let me see if I can do that more in the camera. It does shuffle very well. Very flexible cardstock. These, just a note that these make playing cards decks, they do bow a little bit in my opinion and experience, but I'm also someone that I can be a little, I don't want to say rough on the cards, but I guess maybe the way I shuffle sometimes, I put a lot of, you know, oomph in it. So we're going to just do a little kind of reading just to see. Let's do one for the new moon in Pisces, because that's today. Let's do a collective new moon in Pisces reading, just so you can see how it reads. Okay, what does the collective need to know for this new moon in Pisces? Let's see, hopefully it's shuffled well. Maybe not. Okay. So we have Queen of Air. What is this? Knight of Air. And Judgment. Okay. That feels a bit airy for a Pisces new moon, but maybe there is something that we need to think about in terms of the way that we are expressing ourselves, the way that we are interacting with others, and maybe we're getting a second chance with some of our communication with someone or a situation. So I think that there's a lot of weight behind communication with this, as you know, the air tends to be about thought, about communication, and judgment here too just makes it feel as though, you know, there's something that maybe has wanted to be said or expressed, and now may be the right time to do that, but just being cautious a little of how we're expressing it and how that may come across. So expression, but not in a way that is going to cause disruption or division, but softer expression, I feel, with the Judgment card in this kind of representation of the Judgment card here. It just has that kind of there's like a softness to this Judgment with the diffused light and the two angels kind of holding hands. It just feels very like resolving an issue rather than creating a bigger one. So I feel that that's what it is. Also new ideas coming up too with all of the air. So there could be just beautiful ideas that we are experiencing that could make us feel very creative, and we have a chance to explore those now. So this is a lovely deck. I really enjoy the colors, the images on them. I always love roses, of course, and some of the more gothic imagery anyway. So I feel that this is going to be a really strong one in my rotation, just like the other deck by Chanel. So this deck is, in my opinion, very much worth it. I love the gilding. I love the thought that goes into her decks and the images chosen. It's very luscious, very deep and sensual. And I hope you enjoyed this kind of walkthrough, flip through, unboxing. I'm not sure. And I'll be back soon with kind of more thoughts on the deck after I've worked with it, as well as other videos about what I'm working with this month. And I will talk to all of you very, very soon.